So, hello YouTube, my name is Monty, and I'm just here to talk about books. Specifically, the books I'll be reading in the month of July. So, let's just get on to it, right? Ooh, I almost knocked over the stack. I'm going to start off with the physical books I have, and then move on to the ebooks that I have, and then that'll be the video. There'll be nothing after I talk about the ebooks. So the first book up is 1Q84 by Haruki Murakami. Sorry, I had to read the name because I just purchased this last night. Literally, last night. I walked to Barnes & Noble, which is like 2 miles from my house, and I walked back. And I was there just browsing, looking for stuff to purchase, because why not? And I found this, and it's... yeah, it's, I don't know too much, but judging from the blurb on the back, excuse me, it's an adult dystopian novel set in Japan in 1984, I guess. Because on the back it says it's a love story, a mystery, a fantasy, a novel of self-discovery, a dystopia to rival George Orwell's. So I'm assuming this is Murakami's answer to that. I've never read 1984. I tried once. Couldn't get into it, but I've read 16 pages of this, and it is the most beautiful writing I've ever read in my entire life. So if the rest of this book is like the first part, then I'm probably gonna love it, not even gonna lie. So there's that. The next book on my TBR is A Study in Scarlet by Sir Arthur Conan Doyle. This is like another bind-up edition, kind of. It's the complete works of Sherlock Holmes, but the section I'll be reading is literally like 90 pages. So, 1 second. Let me fix the bookmark so it'll be a little bit easier for you to see. It's like stuck. Faces! But yeah, that much of the book. It's that much. And it's not even all of that, because there's like introduction parts. So I think it's going to be a fairly quick read. I mean, that might be just hopeful, wishful thinking. The next book is a book I've had for a while, like almost 3 years now, I think, and I still haven't finished it because of a reading slump I've been in, and that is A Clash of Kings by George R.R. Martin. I'm literally halfway through the novel. At least halfway, maybe a little bit less than halfway. Yeah, a little less than halfway through the novel. Had it for 3 years. I'm embarrassed that I haven't finished it, because I really like it. It's just, I think... because it's split up by, like, characters, and so, like, sometimes I don't care about the character, like, the chapter focuses on, and so, like, I just don't, I get uninspired to continue reading. So I just need to push through that, and I'll be able to finish it, and that's literally all there is to it. The next book is, Books Are Falling, Never Fade by Alexander Bracken. This is not the book you want to put in front of the sun, because as you can see, you cannot see the book. The glare on this is ridiculous, so I'm going to hold it like that. But it's by Alexander Bracken. It is the sequel to The Darkest Minds, if you didn't already know. And the third book in the trilogy, In the Afterlight, comes out later this fall, I think in like September or something. So I need to finish Never Fade. I've had it since like a month or so after it came out last year, because I saw it on Booktube and I was like, I'm going to read this book. But I just haven't gotten around to it yet. So I need to get around to it, because I really enjoyed The Darkest Minds. It kind of had like a dystopian, like, road trip feel to it, and I really enjoyed that for some reason, and the characters are just great. So I really don't... I have some issues with the book, but I mean, I can work past it, because it was literally... I expected it to be one thing, and it was what I would have expected, but it went beyond that, so that's what I really enjoyed about the novel. And then I have some other books on the TBR, because I got a little ambitious. One, because I really want to get out of this reading slump. I feel, because I go to Barnes & Noble and I buy books. I buy books, and then I don't read them. Like, that's the reading slump. It's not even like I don't want to look at a book, it's I want to buy books because I want to read them, but then I just watch Netflix, or do something else, and I don't read the books that I just went out and purchased. So, I might have put a little too many books on this TBR for someone just getting out of a reading slump. But whatever. So, moving on with the ebooks that I have delegated to the month of July. And if I don't finish it, then, you know, whatever. It's not the end of the world if I don't finish the book. As long as I finish one book this month, I'll be happy. So the rest of these are all ebooks, like I just said. I'm repeating myself now. So the first one is The Name of the Wind by Patrick Rothfuss. It is also a really big book. I'm a fan of big books. Even in the middle of a reading slump, I love big books because I feel like there's just more to experience. And so, there's more to love. And that's also the same thing for, like, series. Well, you have a series of books, there's just more to love. More to love. So, the next book on the TBR after that is The Book Thief by Marcus Zusak. This I've been planning to read since December when the movie came out, but it didn't come out to the theater closest to me. It came out to the one that's furthest from me, like a couple miles away. So I was like, I'm not reading it, because I'm not going to go see the movie, so there's no real pressure for me to read it, and so I was just kind of like, I'll get to it when I get to it. And when I was thinking of books I wanted to read in July, it seemed like one I could read in July, because I don't know why. It's like depressing, and it's the middle of the summer. You're supposed to read like happy things and such, but not me. I've decided to read a depressing book, I guess. Logic, right? But we'll see how it goes. And if I don't like it, I'm not going to force myself to finish it. Like that used to be a thing that I would do. If I didn't like a book, I would continue it to the end anyway. But I'm trying to like get out of that because I don't want to hate the activity I'm trying to do for fun. So if I don't like it, I'm not going to stop. But I'm going in with an open mind. Open mind. Open mind, that's the key, right? The next book on the list is Amy and Roger's Epic Detour by Morgan Matson. Hopefully that's the right author. I said this in the last time I recorded this because it's an ebook and I was just going off of like I put it on my currently read shelf, currently reading shelf on GOODREADS, which I'll link down below in the description, and I didn't check. Like I checked, but you know, like the weird lines and such, I don't know. So hopefully I'm not making a fool of myself, and it's written by, I don't know, but I know it was big on Booktube a couple summers ago, and people really, really loved this book. And I picked it up a few times at Barnes & Noble, and I was kind of like, no. But it's summertime, it feels like this is the time of year that it's meant to be read, and if I read it, it'll probably be after I read a depressing book, or I need some time to... Moving on. The next book on the list is The Geography of You and Me by Jennifer E. Smith. Jennifer E. Smith also wrote The Statistical Probability of Love at First Sight, and This Is What Happy Looks Like. I'm not sure about the second title, but I know that happy is in there, and it's like the yellow word, and it's a boat. But The Geography of You and Me is about two people who meet in an elevator in New York City, and there's a power outage, and when the power gets turned back on, you know, they get to finally leave the elevator, and they walk around, and the guy has to move, and they keep in contact, and I guess like they talk about going back to New York City together at some point, or they do go back. And that was a synopsis, so hopefully that's not like the entire book, because it feels to me like that's the whole book. Like, you know, they meet, they separate, they keep in contact, and then they meet, and it's all cutesy and romantic. But there might be more to it, and if there is more to it, I'm sure I'll like it. If there's not more to it, I don't know. It used to be kind of my thing, like back in the day, I would love those cute little contemporary novels. But now they're just, I don't know, like they don't pull me in, but for some reason this one did. Maybe it was because I really enjoyed the cover, and then the synopsis was just like, it doesn't sound terrible. So I'll check it out and I'll see how I feel about it, not what I feel, how I feel about the book, and you will know. I will make sure to let you know how I feel. I will make sure to let all of you know how I feel about the books I do manage to read in the month of July. Again, Goodreads will be down in the description below if you want like a better description of any of these novels that I'm talking about, and you'll see my progress. You know the deal. Okay, so the next two books are both by Rainbow Rowell, I don't really know. But the first one is Eleanor and Park. I know absolutely nothing about this novel. I know people really enjoyed the novel. That people really enjoy that they really enjoy Rainbow's writing, and so I want to see for myself. And the second one is Attachments, which I believe is her adult novel that she wrote. Again, down in the comments below, feel free to correct me if I'm wrong about that. I just know that one's like the Office Space one, and Eleanor and Park, I have no idea what it's about. I just want to check them out, see what, because I know that people really, really love these books, and I know that I could have started with Fangirl, but that didn't, like, that just seemed too, I don't know, I didn't want to start with that one. I wanted to start with these ones. These ones seemed, Eleanor and Park looked like a book I would enjoy, and Attachments sounded like a book I would enjoy, and so I'm going to see if I enjoy them, and if I do, like I said, you will know. The last book on my TBR is The Cuckoo's Calling by Robert Galbraith, aka J.K. Rowling. The sequel to this book, The Silkworm, just came out, or came out a few months ago. I haven't really been keeping up with my release dates. Excuse me, I need to cough, but I want to. So that's what I want to read in the month of July. Feel free to leave comments down in the comment section about the books you're reading, or you can tweet at me the books you're reading, or whatever. We can just have a nice discussion. So until next time, bye.